Hi. How's everyone doing? Yay! Good to see you guys. This is my first panel in a while. This feels good. Welcome to Metrocon! I'm excited to be here. For those who don't know me, I'm Max Mittleman. I'm a voice actor. Well known for the voice of Saitama from One Punch Man, and King from Seven Deadly Sins, and I'm in Fire Emblem, and a bunch of other stuff. And if you don't know what that stuff is, it's in the program. So yeah, this is a Q&A, and it's for you guys. This is simply whatever questions you have, I'm gonna answer them. Unless I don't. Yeah, let's have fun. Ask some interesting questions. I'm ready for them. I saw your hand go up first.
What's the strangest?
Oh, yes.
What's the strangest role you've ever done?
Strangest role I've ever done, and then it'll go to you. Strangest role I've ever done. What is the strangest role? Strange in I guess the strangest thing I've ever done is, some of you probably maybe know this story already if you've been to a panel, but like the strangest thing I've ever done was my very first job ever.
Oh my God!
Which was, I was, for those who don't know, I booked my first gig. Yay, it was my first big thing. It was a commercial for a ticket busting thing, get you out of a ticket. And the guy who hired me, really nice guy, but it was at his house. I think it was like a business house or something. I don't even know what that means. It was in a walk-in closet the size of, like, it fit 2 people. That was it. And had no lights or anything. And he was like, I bought this cool recorder, it was $100. Oops. I had to like hold the recorder like this, and the script, or he was holding the recorder like squeezing it past me. The script was in one hand, like here, and then my like flashlight was above me to look at the script. That was the weirdest thing I've ever done. Was recording in a closet with another man, and it wasn't the first time. It wasn't the last time, I should say. What's that? Yeah, it's a weird creature that was. What can I say, guys? I was young, I was naive, I was innocent, I didn't know any better. Yeah. Yes.
What was your favorite role? I mean, not role. What was your favorite scene that you did when you voiced Ryuji in Persona 5?
Favorite scene from Persona 5? Well, it had to be the where he gets his persona. Oh, spoiler alert. But it had to be that scene. That was probably my favorite to record, and we recorded that at the very end of the. I had a lot of sessions for that game because he's got 40,000 lines or something, most lines in the game.
What about a
Comedic scene?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that was my favorite because it was so fun to portray that moment. Then comedically had to be the moment where he's like, he's eating with the protagonist,
Oh, yeah.
and he's like, it's like a media explosion in my mouth.
Oh my God, that was like comedy gold.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. It was fun too because like you do that stuff, and it's fun to watch the producer and the director and maybe the writers there, and they're all cracking up. It's something you do, and you give them an A and a B, and they're like, we can't decide which is funnier. So, yeah.
Great game. I'm so happy I got to play.
Thank you. I'm glad that everyone is. It seems like everyone's enjoying it. Yeah. Yes. Hi.
What's your favorite video game genre?
Favorite genre video game? First-person shooter. Yeah. I'm obsessed with Overwatch right now because Overwatch has this great balance of being like a mix between Call of Duty and World of Warcraft. It's a first-person shooter. If World of Warcraft were a first-person shooter, that's Overwatch. But yeah, I'm obsessed with first-person shooters. That was some of the first games I ever got like super obsessed with, like Halo. Halo 2 was my jam, guys. That was my jam.
Until the ending.
Until I don't even remember the ending. I just played online. But that was the best times of my life. Coming home from school, turning on the video game after watching Dragon Ball Z. It was all of middle school. Yeah, so that's my favorite genre, and of that genre, I'd have to say Halo is probably my favorite first-person shooter. Overwatch, close second. I saw your hand, and then it'll be you.
Can you tell us any fun anecdotes about the Mob Psycho Ritsu?
Anecdotes from Mob Psycho?
Yeah.
Like the recording process?
Yeah, just any funny stories you have. I loved you in that. That was my favorite thing.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. I'm sure there was something. Well, I did like how everyone kind of locked on to how he was like a surfer dude or something, which I never quite understood, but, and it wasn't even really a joke like in session, it just was sort of after it happened, and people were like, Ritsu's like a surfer dude, because what was the line he said?
Tough break, dude.
Tough break, dude?
Yeah.
Tough break, dude, or whatever he said.
Sorry, bro, tough break.
Sorry, dude, tough break. Yeah, sorry, bro. But it wasn't like it was like, sorry, bro, tough break. Oh, Tommy, I'll see you later. Gonna ride some gnarly waves. It wasn't that, so I don't know. It was great though. Yeah, I mean that was the most fun thing that came out of it, probably. Yeah. Yes. Oh no, sorry, Karen.
Yeah, I'm glad you and Robbie gonna be in the new Spider-Man.
Yeah, we can finally talk about it. Yay! Yeah, I remember last year someone was like, are you guys working on any cool projects? And I was like, can't say anything. Yeah, we're finally able to talk about it. That's so much fun. We are having so much fun on that show. I'm so stoked. So I play Harry Osborn in the new Spider-Man, for those of you who don't know. And Robbie Daymond, who will be here tomorrow, plays Spider-Man. So that's, we've been working on that since almost 2 years now. And it's just a long process for Western animation. It takes forever.
Any more voice actors it's going to be?
Any more what?
Voice actors.
Voice actors? The ones that they announced, for sure. Yeah, the ones that Marvel officially announced will definitely be in it. No, I signed so many NDAs I wouldn't be able to say anything, or men in suits would come out of the shadows and take me away before your very eyes, and then they would destroy that video camera. Yeah, we're having a blast. It's going to be really good. This Spider-Man, for those of you who are Spidey fans, is great because the writing is really, really, really good because the writers are fans of the show, they're fans of the property, and there's a lot of heart that was put into the story. So like, I don't know if you watched Ultimate Spider-Man, but Ultimate Spider-Man had a much more, I think I would say it had a much more like sort of jokey kind of feel. And that's all there, like Peter Parker is supposed to be witty and has his one-liners, but in this one, it's got that, and it's got like an amazing story arc from the first episode to the last episode, and that's the part I love so much. So there's definitely like episodes where it's just like fight the villain, but within that, it's got great storytelling. So
I heard it's going to be kind of like I hope it's going to be like in the same like sense like in Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people are saying so far, is that they're enjoying it a lot, and yeah, I mean, we'll see, but I can't wait for people to see it. I think it's one of the best ones so far.
I want to guess like who the voice actors are going to be in. I already know Laura Bailey is going to be in it. Is Ben Diskin and Steve Bloom voicing characters? Because I thought I heard their voices in the clip, in the sneak preview clip.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah. So anyway, I wish I could say. I can't say. I can't say who's in it, who's not in it. Okay. So I'll go over here. Yes. You. Yes.
You were talking about NDAs, non-disclosure agreements.
Yes.
And
And you work. I remember you work in law, right? Is it law?
No, accounting.
Accounting. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, desk job, yeah, push a pencil.
Yeah.
So, do you know beforehand what you're going to be voice acting for?
That's a good question.
Or do you find out about it when it's released to everybody?
So, most times, or I'll say a lot of times.
Project Black was...
Yeah, so like for video games, mostly there's code names, and they're very, very secretive about the video games that we work on. Most times, I'd say when I work on a game, I'm able to find out what the game is. But there are instances where they don't wanna say anything, and they're very secretive about it. I don't know if you guys know. I won't talk about it for too long. But right now, the union is striking against certain companies in video games. And that's because the union asked for, to give you the rundown, the union basically, the contract was up. The contract was created like over 20 years ago when video games didn't really have a lot of voice acting in it. Now voice acting is a big part, as you know. So we're asking for, as the contract gets renegotiated, you got to ask for new stuff, and one of the things we're asking for is to be a little more transparent with what we're working on. So it's actually something we should know, because I know people who've worked on a video game and have had to, like, there's one story in particular, I can't remember who said it, but he had to come in and do some really bad racial slurs and as a character, and they didn't tell him that when he went in for the video game. And then when he was there, he said he felt obligated to do it because he was there. I mean, what are you gonna do? So stuff like that. But yeah, so sometimes, most of the time, I do know what I'm working on. Sometimes I'm not sure. Didn't know it was Spider-Man. Spider-Man was a code name. But I got there, and then they were like, of course, it's Spider-Man. I mean, you have to know that this is Spider-Man, because, like anything, like if you're working on an on-camera project, if you're an on-camera actor, screen actor, you're doing like The Walking Dead, and it's a code name for the audition, you get there, you're gonna probably want to know that it's a zombie flick, or it's a zombie thing, you know? So just like on camera, in the same way that you're going to know what you're working on, because it only benefits them. Because if you have the information, you're going to be able to make smarter choices for the character. In the same way that works for on camera, it works that way in voiceover. So, yeah. Did I answer? Alright. Who else did I say? I saw your hand, and then we'll go you. Okay.
If there's any role in anything you would want to play, who would you be and why?
Any role? Who would I want to be and why? I don't know. And is it? It's a great question. Here's why that question is tough. Because so many of my friends, guys, this microphone gets real loud when you talk close to it. Because so many of my friends and colleagues have played characters already, like, it would be weird to be like, I really want to play such and such, even though this person already plays that character. I will say, like, it'd be fun to be a turtle. There's so many turtles, you know, any one of them would be super, super fun to play. Yeah, turtle. I've already been so fortunate to play so many cool characters, and so many different types of characters too, from Plague to yeah, I don't know, who knows my characters and who doesn't, but like all different voices and creatures and animals and guys and gals, and yeah. Oh yeah, just the other day. Oh yeah. Well, you'll have to find out. You have to wait. But yeah, probably one of the turtles. I love the turtles. I would love to play a turtle. I would love to play a turtle. Putting it out there to the universe. Yes. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Yes, and then yes. Sorry.
Could you at least tell us your favorite Spider-Man film?
My favorite Spider-Man film? It's Tobey Maguire was the first Spidey I ever saw, so I mean that's some of my favorite Spider-Man stuff. Tom Holland does a great job as the new Spider-Man now. He really does. He really nails it. But I gotta go with nostalgia. Nostalgia beats all. It wins out every time. Yeah.
So would that be 1 or 2?
Or 3? There's a third one.
Have you seen it?
I don't know, the original, because how epic was that film? That film was epic, and it kicked off a lot of other cool stuff too. Yes?
What's the biggest difference when you're going in to record for a Western animation versus like an anime? Like what's the biggest difference between them?
Biggest difference between Western animation and anime. The biggest difference is that with anime, you're recording in post. So you've already got the picture and the lip flap, and you gotta match timing to the lip flap. And it's translated from another language, the story's all there, it was already voiced by another person, so you get to hear kind of what they did. In Western animation, it's all original. So it's just like shooting on camera, but instead of on camera, you're in a studio. So, and a lot of times with Western animation, you are in a room with other people. I think my first recording day on Spider-Man, for instance, was like 13 other people. That's a huge room. That rarely happens. When I did Rescue Bots, that was always the same cast. It was me, well, when I came on, it would be me, Jason Marsden, DC Douglas, Shannon McCain, Maurice LaMarche, Parvesh, Gina, I'm forgetting someone. See, I shouldn't have listed the names. I knew I was gonna forget them. Who?
Steve Bloom.
Steve Bloom, damn, oh my God, he's even here. Oh, how embarrassing. So that's generally around the size of what kind of a recording is. When I do Ben 10, it's same thing. Same. So yeah. Was that the question? What was the question? The differences. The differences. Yeah. I love them both for different reasons. They're really cool. I like how anime can be super technical because I can be a perfectionist about stuff. And a very technical type person. But I gotta say that Western animation is my favorite because you're creating something original, right? It's really all coming from the writer writes the words, you're the first person to speak them. So that's special to me. Yes. Wait, did I call on anyone else? Okay. Yes.
Would I be able to ask what it was like to voice Rusty from Stella Glow?
Rusty from Stella Glow.
You probably don't get much asked about.
Yeah, but I love Rusty. I love Rusty. That was super fun because well, for no other reason than Robbie Daymond was also in the game. But because Robbie played alto. And I think the most fun part about that is that, oh yeah, Robbie was calling Rusty the prospector. Every time I would go in, they'd be like, oh, it's the prospector coming to record. I'd be like, what is the deal? Because Rusty doesn't sound like that at all. And they're just like, Rusty sounds like a prospector name. So every time Robbie would come in, apparently he'd be like, oh, it's Rusty, prospector. I never got it. I never really understood the joke. And I think like one time I went in for a Nickelodeon session right after him. And he wrote on my paper like something about a prospector. I was like, all right, dude. Yeah, fun time recording that. Yeah. Yes.
Going along the same vein of difference between Western and anime, how different is it to do it from a kind of animation versus a video game aspect of it? What's the differences between that?
That's a good question. Guys, I'm cold. So I'm gonna put this over me. It's, huh? Yeah, just, can we open a window? So the difference is between animation and video games. Video games tend to be more cinematic. And sometimes, depending on the video game, a little more grounded. Animation tends to be a little more broad. generally speaking, there are shows that are super grounded. I mean, this Spider-Man has moments. I can't wait for you guys to see it if you're gonna watch it. It has really, really like intense moments. And I can't give anything away, but it's really good. So animation can definitely have those moments, but as a whole, I'd say in general, video games are more grounded, and you go into a studio for animation, you record one script, so you have it like an episode, and normally it'll be an ensemble. If it's not, it's just all your lines. But that's like a 22-minute episode, right? Or an 11-minute episode, depending. And for video games, sometimes you can have a script or a day in a 4-hour session where you get through like 800 lines. It's just bang, bang, bang. And depending on the game, you know, that can be tough, really, really tough. If the voice is a tough voice to do, then that's, you know, you gotta take adequate breaks. But like each one of those is a 4-hour session. So like, I keep using Spider-Man as an example. I'm so excited to talk about it. But for example, Spider-Man is like in a 4-hour session, we'll get through an episode, and in a 4-hour session in a video game, we could get through 800 lines. Or like Call of Duty, get through like 100 lines, because that's just screaming the whole time, or 200 or 300. Yeah.
How did you get the role, Saitama? Did you just kind of walk in and say we need a character that...
Yeah, the role of Saitama, I just walked into the studio and I was like, it's me!
Like when you audition, they're like, we need a character who needs to be sound really bored. Like,
Yes, I know what you mean, but wouldn't it be great if I did just walk into the studio and be like, I'm your guy. I do this for a living. Yeah, so for Saitama, I auditioned 4 times. They sent me the sides for 5 characters. Saitama, Genos, Moomin Rider, Pori Pori Prisoner. No, I'm sorry, not Pori Pori Prisoner. Speed of Sound Sonic, and that role was destined to go to Ray. And someone else. A mime mask. So I was really surprised, actually. I thought I was gonna play, I thought I was not gonna play, but I thought I was like best for Genos, because I'd already voiced a character. I don't know, in my head I was like, well, I've already voiced a character that the Japanese actor voiced, so I'm probably gonna just voice that same guy. But no, they liked me. The producer said, when he listened to the auditions, he was like, yours was like, when I heard it, that was Saitama. And he's like, but the reason I had to audition so many times is because Japan is very particular, and in a good way, and they want to make sure that whoever they choose can really get the job done. So that was the most I've ever auditioned for a project, over 2 months. Yeah.
I hope that's for the future season. I just hope that, you know, Robbie doesn't get written out because he's a C-class hero.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think they would. Moomin Rider? Moomin Rider! Come on! We had fun together. King?
Yeah.
Oh, King, not 7 Deadly Sins King, but One Punch Man King.
S-class hero.
Yes. I'm excited for that. Yeah, so that was the process, and it was a good time. No, it wasn't. It was so annoying waiting for 2 months to find out if I got the role or not. Not gonna lie.
You're excited for voicing King again in season 2 of 7 Deadly Sins?
You know it. Yeah, super excited. Okay, who haven't I seen yet? Taking off your pants over there? What's happening? It's part of the cosplay, guys. Don't worry. Okay, I'm starting left. I'll go here, and then I saw your hand, so we'll do 1, 2. So we'll start over there. Sorry, I should be doing this one by one. Yes.
So, what was it like recording on Mob Psycho 100? Like, was it different from recording on other animes because the animation is so unique and different?
Mob Psycho, it wasn't really different than any other, anime that I record. I'm pretty used to the process by now. Another Chris Kaysen production. Chris Kaysen is the man. Chris is a great director, which is why they choose him, and we had a good rapport, so it was actually really nice to be working with him again. Some of these answers, guys, are a no. I mean, I can't give you anything else other than that. I wish I could. All right. Well, no, it was a fun show, though. That's another hand. Yes.
Yeah. What are your favorite video game companies to do work for, and does that line up with your favorite video games to play?
Favorite video game companies to work for? The ones that pay me. Terrible. I'm terrible. Bad. Whoever hires me, honestly. As an actor, you can't be choosy. My favorite ones to work for, like when I'm in the room that I have worked for, I don't know. It's tough to choose. Like, I loved working on Skylanders because of the character. Skylanders, I played this very boisterous sort of carnival barker. He was very slimy, and he was really fun. So that was a fun game to work on. But as far as companies, I don't really have a favorite company.
Do those line up with your favorite games to play?
To play? Yeah, yeah, my favorite games to play. Well, I'll tell you my favorite games to play. All the first-person shooters, but also one of my favorite games was Final Fantasy VIII. That was my favorite RPG. I play so many games on the phone. I mean, it's terrible, but like, I play a game called Balls. That's like my favorite game ever. It's just called Balls. And it's really fun. But like console games, I'm kind of, I'm so busy. It's a terrible answer, but I'm so busy that it's tough to find time to play sit down and play through a game. I played Last of Us. That was probably my favorite game in recent memory. Last of Us was really, really cool, and it kind of instilled back in me the enjoyment of video games for me, because I hadn't played in a long time. So yeah. Oh yes, you right there.
What was your question?
Was your question literally for?
Yes, because
okay. So I guess my question: do you have any anecdotes or stories involving your lie in April?
Anecdotes from your lie in April. Tissues. Lots and lots of tissues. Yeah, well, there is an outtake video. Have you seen the outtake video? It's great. I don't know if anyone's uploaded it to online or not, but it's really, really funny. There was one moment where,
I guess you had to be.
Yeah, there was one moment where, wait, do you guys know your line in April? I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
No, I don't.
Oh, there's people who don't know. So I can't say the outtake, but there were some really funny outtakes. And Aniplex is awesome because one thing I really like about Aniplex is that they put together a reel of all the outtakes for their shows. Something I don't know if you'll ever see for One Punch Man. There's so many good ones in One Punch Man. You gotta pester Viz. You gotta let him know you want to see those outtakes. But the outtakes are super funny if you ever get a chance to see them. Other than that, I mean, it was such a serious. I think the tone of recording was so serious that there weren't a lot of like, yeah, the levity wasn't really there. We went in and. Oh, it's depressing. So depressing. Yeah, but the outtakes are great. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Yes, Scholar.
I have the deepest cut.
Yes.
So what led to the sort of pledge that you and Ray had to become voice actors? Because I know that was the thing that happened.
To become voice actors?
You guys mentioned on the headbands Periscope that you guys have made a pledge to go together to support each other to become voice actors.
Oh, let me think of what that story is, because I'm not sure. So Ray Chase, who's also here and a guest, he played Noctis in Final Fantasy 15. Okay, come on. Not that great. And he was also Puri Puri Prisoner in One Punch Man. So what the question was, the thing that we talked about that led us to shake hands and go, we're gonna do it, man. I don't know. I don't know what that was.
Here's the look who brought it up.
What to remind me?
It was, so when you guys did the Periscope stream, when you guys went to Yogurtland, you were talking about how there was a cafe nearby that's like, where it's like, that's where we made the pack.
Oh. I don't know about that. Cafe near Yogurtland. That is a deep cut. Cafe near Yogurtland. Okay. I really don't know. I'll think about it. I'll try to remember. Yes, and then I'll get to you.
What's your favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
Favorite Dragon Ball Z character is... Wait, I gotta think about it a second. Favorite, who was my favorite? Gohan. Gohan. Yeah, Gohan had to be my favorite. You too, huh? Yes. Yeah. Wait, who was it? I thought it was you said that. It was you? No. Yeah. Gohan's the best. Other than that, King Kong! That was also one of my faves, but just because of his voice, I think he's super funny. And the old man is just a perv. Yeah. Okay, yes?
Before you switched to voiceover, how much regular on-stage acting training did you have?
Before I switched to voiceover? Good question. So I was a pre-med in college. I was a pre-med for 4 years, I was a theater minor the whole time, and I was failing all my classes, which led me to switch to a theater major. But I was taking theater classes, I was taking acting classes up until that point. And, hey guys. And so I was doing a lot of that for 4 years, and then I spent another 1.5 years taking acting classes, and then I spent another 4 years taking acting classes. I'm actually still taking acting classes. It never ends. It never does, because you always want to be better and train and build your craft, and so I've never stopped taking acting classes. Yeah, still taking them. Still taking them. Yes, and that goes for on camera as well as voiceover. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, you, and then you. Yes.
Okay. How did you meet Robbie and Ray?
How did I meet Robbie and Ray? I don't want to remember. Breadwinners, yes. So Robbie, if he were here, he would recount the story very differently, but I met Robbie at a Breadwinner session. I'm gonna keep it PG-13, but just making sure if there's any young children. One of my first sessions ever. I was like I said, was super innocent, didn't know what to expect. I got to the session, I did my character, and afterwards Robbie came in with another actor, Eric Bauza, who's also the lead of that show. And I asked the casting director if I could stick around and watch him work, because that was a special thing. I'd never watched anyone work before. So she said, yeah. And immediately, Robbie's first words to me, coming out of the speakers, he looked at me as I sat on the couch, and he was like, and he made a dick joke right to my face, but at my expense. It was something like, because I sat down and he was like, he wasn't used to people like watching his sessions. So it said something like, and he was joking, and Robbie's got a very strange sense of humor, but he was joking, and he was like, getting hard. Whatever he said, and I was like, what is wrong with this guy? This guy is insane. And maybe it wasn't a big deal, and maybe in my head I made a big deal out of it, because I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, that's how I met Robbie, and then we were fast friends after that. And then for about 1.5 years, I thought he was the worst person in the world. And then Ray booked Final Fantasy and was like, there's this guy named Robbie Daymond, and he's on the game, and I was like, don't be friends with him. And seriously, I was like, he invited me to go get drinks, I was like, don't do it, dude! He'll make fun of your manliness. And so he ended up doing it, and when he came back, he was like, seemed like a good guy to me. So I was like, okay, I'll give him a second chance. So we all went to get drinks one time, and he was super cool. Yeah, I was just being a sensitive youngster. Yeah. Aww.
Robbie's the dangling man.
Robbie's the what?
Robbie's the dangling man.
I don't know what that is. Okay. He's the Slender Man? Sure. And then Ray, how did I meet Ray? I met Ray at a party, at an agency party. He got super drunk, and actually we were at the same agency for a little while, and then we were at different agencies. Now we're at the same agency again, because he's always following me. Because he also went to USC, and I didn't meet him at USC. I went to University of Southern California, and he gave me advice, recommendations for classes to take, professors, because I was like, I just switched to be a theater major, and I don't know what I'm doing, and he's like, take this guy's class, and I did, and it was one of the best classes. So that's how I met Ray. And then I did some sketch stuff with him and got to know him a little better.
What's your Trojan?
I'm a Trojan. Before that, I was a bear, Berkeley Bear. Fun Explosion, yes.
So, someone asked you what character you'd like to play, ideally. Is there an actor that you'd like to work with, that you haven't worked with already?
I thought you were going to say an actor you'd like to replace. An actor I'd like to work with. I say that, and like since last year I've gotten to work with so many awesome people. I still haven't worked with a few of them, like in studio. Like I've met most of the ones that pretty much I grew up listening to, and they're all really cool people. I haven't worked with like Billy West. I think that would be fun. Billy West is pretty much all the voices in Futurama, and
I've heard he's very naughty.
And Ren and Stimpy, yeah, and Doug, if you watch Doug. Yeah. So him and I don't know. I keep thinking of people that I've worked with this past year, which is amazing. I'll just keep it at Billy West, I guess. I haven't worked with Tom Kenny. I know him. I've met him a bunch of times, but we've never actually been in the same room. We worked on the same project, not been in the same room. That'd be fun. I was gonna say one other name and I forgot.
Who would you like to replace?
Who would I like to replace? Robbie Daymond. Yes, way back there.
Can I ask what your favorite Persona 5 castle and character are?
Castle and character. In Persona 5, gotta be Kamoshida. Kamoshida's, yeah. Because again, it's got that scene too that I love. And my favorite character? Ryuji? Other than Ryuji? The subway announcer. Definitely the subway announcer. Okay, am I missing anyone on the sides that I haven't seen? No. Okay, good. So I'll go you up front, and then you in the back. Okay.
My question was, you're doing a special event called L.A.V.A tomorrow?
Yeah.
So, is that, because I don't know if I want to go or not.
L.A.V.A. L.A.V.A is a show that I do with Ray Chase and Robbie Daymond. Hate them. And it's an improv variety show. So we do improv games and sketch games and audience participation and prizes, and it's really, really fun. Yeah. It's really fun. You guys should all come. It's tomorrow at 6:30. Yeah. It's really fun, guys. It's gonna be the best. Yeah. So that's Is that enough incentive?
Yes.
Okay, good. And then I said back there. Okay, Goku versus Saitama. I've had this conversation so many times. But he's named the One Punch Man because he kills all his enemies in one punch. So there is no possible way that Goku could beat Saitama. Do you have a rebuttal? Say again? No. When Saitama wants to, he can defeat his enemy in one punch. And also, Boros had some armor. Saitama was breaking the armor, and then he broke Boros' face. So, yeah. Anybody else have the same question? Yes, you in the, is it a Ness hat?
Yes.
Yes.
So, are you aware of the infamous group known as the Phantom Thieves? And what is your stance on them?
The Phantom Thieves? Is there like an answer I'm supposed to give for this one? Good. What is my stance on the Phantom Thieves? They deserve more credit than they get. That's my stance. That's my stance.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
The crooks! The criminals!
They're criminals. Haven't you ever heard of vigilantes?
I don't think it's fair.
They're the best. Phantom Thieves are the best. Yes.
It's kind of going off on that One Punch Man versus Goku thing. Are you aware of the web series Death Battle?
No.
Oh, well, it just pits like two similar characters together, like.
Oh yes.
Like they did.
I've seen this.
So, out of all of your characters, who would you like to put into the ring?
Oh, say it again?
Out of the characters you've done, like, who would you like to see fight?
Face each other?
Or like just fight to the death.
Fight to the death? Any characters that I've done, who would I like to see fight to the death? Let's see. You guys probably don't know this character, but the Poltergoose from Breadwinners. It's my personal fan club right up here, guys. You didn't figure it out. And Poltergoose, who's from Breadwinners, and Poltergoose was super annoying, and his famous line was "honk!" And also Plague from Miraculous Ladybug. I don't know, fight to the death, that's so bad. A fight to the boo-boo is way better. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess I would say that. I mean, I guess a more entertaining one might be Ryuji and Kosei from Your Lie in April. It's fight to the boo-boo. That's what we've decided. That's what we've settled on. Fight to the boo-boo. Except you gotta protect Kosei's hands, that's all. All right. Okay. Wait, who has not asked a question yet? I want to make sure I get to that. Everyone. All right, cool. Raise back your hands. Up. Yes.
Yeah. So if they asked you to be in the movie Sharknado, you like it?
Sharknado? Would I be in it? Like a Sharknado 3 or something? 5? They've come out with 4 other Sharknados? You gotta be kidding me. August 6th? Well, it's too late for me to be in it then. 7? Okay, now you're lying. 7 movies?
No, 6 now.
6. Okay, you gotta make the decision on the 6 movies. Okay, well, the answer is, duh, of course I'd want to be in Sharknado. It's the best. I've never seen Sharknado. But I've seen clips of it. It looks great. I think there was one clip of a shark and a tornado spinning around. Spinning around in a tornado. It looks like a great movie. Yeah. Yes.
What's your favorite bad movie?
Favorite bad movie? It's a close one. Piranha 3D. That was one of my favorites. I can't even say my favorite part of the movie because it has to do with never mind. And also The Room. The Room. That's great. I saw a live screening of The Room with Tommy Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau did a Q&A afterwards, and it was one of those like Rocky Horror type things where everyone knows the lines to everything, and every time there's a picture of spoons, people bring plastic spoons and throw them at the screen, like handfuls of plastic spoons.
Like football in the
Yeah, there was. I guess my favorite part is there's one shot where it looks like, I can't remember. It looks like someone's face is like entering the screen. It's a giant face, and everyone runs up to the screen and they're like, no! And it looks like the face is gonna eat them. It's great. If you ever get a chance to go to one of those live screenings, highly recommend it.
Oh, hi, Max.
Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah. Yes.
When will Ryuji get them say the F word?
Doesn't he say the F word at some point in the game? Once. But there you go. See? He says the F word. Huh?
When will he say it more than once?
He said it twice.
He said it twice.
In a row.
There you go. Other than that, he says it on his own private time, I think. Just not in front of people. He's really polite. He's really super polite. Yeah. How many fives is that? 5 minutes. Okay, she was going like this. I thought I had like 25 minutes left. 5 minutes. Okay, we'll go right to left. Yes. If you have any questions, by the way, I'll start over here and go this way. Yes?
Off of your work, what do you like to do the best?
What do I like to do the best out of all my work? I really have a fondness for animation. Animation is my favorite. Yes?
Superman versus Saitama, who wins?
Saitama.
We got some here.
You.
Could King full counter Saitama's punch?
Who?
King?
Again?
Full counter.
Full counter?
Yes, counter.
It's Saitama! Yes. For the Emoji movie? It was fun. We had a great loop group, and a lot of amazing people actually in the loop group. We had like Lorraine Newman, who's a living legend. She was on SNL. And some amazing voice actors in that group. Yeah. It was fun. I'm additional, but I think I actually have a line as one of the students in the classroom. I make fun of, has anyone seen the Emoji movie? Come on, guys. I mean, I'm so glad all of you have seen the Emoji movie. Looks to camera. Yeah, there's a classroom scene, and I have one line as a kid. I think I make fun of the main character or something. Yeah. Okay, going this way. Yes.
Could I ask about your favorite part and character of Stella Glow?
Favorite part and character in Stella Glow? Well, it's got to be the sauna scene, right? That's my favorite. If you guys don't know about that, you can look it up. It's on YouTube. Oh, it's on YouTube. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. The dynamic between Rusty and Alto is great and strange. Yes.
Did you have any questions for Tommy Wiseau, and if so, what did you ask him?
I didn't have any questions for Tommy Wiseau. I took a picture with him. He said, "Oh, hi everybody." We took a picture, and it was fun meeting him. He seemed like a really nice guy. I have nothing, he seemed to be really enjoying the fact that people hate his movie so much. So yeah, I didn't ask him anything. Maybe one of my friends did, but I can't remember. Yes?
Would you rather live in the world of Mob Psycho or One Punch Man?
One Punch Man! Yeah, I don't know. The world of One Punch Man or Mob Psycho? Yeah, One Punch Man for sure. Yes.
So, when you did Gray for Fire Emblem Echoes, what was your inspiration for it?
Gray for Fire Emblem try that again. Gray from Fire Emblem Echoes, my inspiration for Gray. I've played so many characters at this point, I have to remember. Well, the thing that got me into the character was just going, shut up, Tobin, shut up, shut up, shut up, Tobin, shut up, Tobin. Shut up, Tobin. Okay, and then I was in character. That was pretty much, my inspiration was yeah, I was just thinking about, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, it was that one line. Okay, I saw your hand, yes.
But did you do anything to get in character for Saitama from One Punch Man, or did you find him, like, rubbing off on you? Because everybody that watches One Punch Man with me automatically starts working out like crazy after watching.
Really? Did I do anything to get into character? I assume you mean, but by that you mean did I work out to get into character? Yeah, I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. I went for a 10-kilometer run every day in my mind. Yeah, it was all in my mind. Yes.
It's okay for breakfast.
Best girl in Persona 5.
Best girl in Persona 5?
Yes. That's not the Subway announcer.
Oh, man. Best girl in Persona 5 is, oh no, I'm gonna break a lot of hearts by giving any answer.
Come on.
Any answer. Morgana. Morgana's best girl. I know she's not a girl. I know it's a cat. I know it's a guy, but or a girl. I don't know what Morgana is. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I don't see gender, so no. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
He tells you to go to sleep every night. Come on.
What?
He tells you to go to sleep every night.
Who?
Morgana.
Morgana goes to sleep every night?
No, he tells you.
Oh, tells me to go to sleep every night. Yes.
That's not cool.
Well, you're making this really difficult on me. Best girl in Persona is Ryuji. Next. Didn't I see another hand over here? Maybe? Over going left? Okay, yes. Yes.
Did you ever cry while like recording for your Lie in April or were you watching it?
Yeah. Cried in Lie in April. I cried in a show I did called A Lull in the Sea. I've cried in a couple other things. There's too much crying. Yeah, I mean, you kind of had to. You kind of had to for the role, because there's moments where he does cry. But I guess you didn't have, it affected me emotionally when I was watching it. So yeah, there were parts that I teared up. I'll say it. So what? Doesn't make me any less of a brave soul. It's a very touching show, and it was very emotional, and it was very well done. So I cried. Was there anything else? Guys, this has been so fun. Seriously, I've had a great time, and I would love to see all of you at the L.A.V.A show. It's gonna be really, really fun tomorrow at 6:30. Yeah.